Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and today we're going to be talking about kind of an interesting what-if scenario. Obviously, a lot of this channel has been built off of roster speculation, roster theory crafting. What if this team got this player, or hey, this team might get this player. That'd be cool, interesting, that would lead to XYZ happening, and kind of all these dominoes falling in place. It seems like we're talking about, the dominoes all the time, because how this scene works is like, every team and every roster is kind of waiting for a few key players to make decisions, and then once they do, that is the snowball effect for like everything else happening. But not only are we talking about a very, very interesting hypothetical situation, we also, from that situation, are gaining some very kind of crucial insight into the minds of some professional players and how it could be potentially impacting some North American teams, or one team in particular, going forward into the future. Obviously, you can tell by the title. Today, we're going to be talking about TSM Yankos, how it almost happened, and what that means for TSM today. So, definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I know the past couple of videos we've been having some audio issues, some echoing, some mic popping, all that stuff. Two things. One, hopefully for this video I fixed the echo issues. We're going to play a video and we're going to see if it echoes. I hope it doesn't. But also, I just ordered a new mic today, so it's going to be on its way. The mic we've been using, kind of a dog shit mic. My ex-girlfriend bought it for me a couple of years ago when I was making videos and stuff. Oh, hey, here's a cool mic. And I just used it. But now we actually have a nice one on the way, so that should be awesome. With that being said, let's get right into this. We have a clip to go over from slowly, or I guess not slowly, quickly becoming one of my favorite pieces of League of Legends content in the scene right now, and that is Trash Talk from Doublelift. He has been putting out banger episodes with banger guests, and I love how, hey, he asks some of the harder questions. He doesn't pull any punches. He's not a super PR guy. He's not like some journalist that has to be careful about, offending people or rubbing his guests the wrong way or whatever. Like, hey, they're just kind of pro players talking to each other, and a lot of the times they're his friends or people he has connections with or whatever, and people who come on the show have the understanding that it's going to be laid back. They're going to ask everything. If it's something, Doublelift has, especially as a content creator, he has his hand on the pulse of the community, and he's also just a fan of League of Legends. He knows the questions people want answered. He knows the questions that people say, that people ask, and that he's maybe thinking himself. So this is really, really great content. Obviously, he has Yankos and BB on here. And obviously, I'm going to drop a like on it. I've been enjoying it. You guys should drop a like on any videos that you watch and enjoy on the platform. It just helps everybody out. But he's talking to BB and Yankos, and this part of the video is called TSM Yankos, where, he asks him about potentially joining TSM. And like I said, I think it gives a really, really insightful answer into kind of the situation with TSM right now. So let's see what Mr. Yankos has to say.
So, Yankos, did you know that in 2016... TSM actually wanted you to play for them? Like, they wanted you? Oh, you did?
So, first, pause right there. That is very, very interesting. And that just, 2016 TSM is I have such a love-hate relationship for them because, for me, that's like the peak of North American League of Legends. That's like absolute prime Bjergsen. That's Bjergsen and Doublelift popping off together. It's also, I really think that TSM team was one of the better teams in the world. Now, yes, they went to Worlds and got a very tough group. They got a little bit unlucky. I'm always going to wonder, what if Doublelift didn't walk up and get one shot by Victor? What if Doublelift just went to Baron? What if TSM won that game? Could they have made like semifinals at Worlds? Could they have went on some crazy run? Could they have been the best LCS team of all time? And I really do think, at least up until this point, I still think they are the best LCS team of all time. But then you start saying that in 2016, TSM almost got Yankos. Like, oh my god, like, dude, Sven Skaren was really, really good at that time. But obviously, we've seen what Yankos has been able to do internationally. He's an MSI champion. He's a world finalist. He's a world semifinalist. He's done all two-time. He's made the world semis 3 times. 2 times he's lost in semis. 1 time he's won semis. He's made all the way to finals. This guy is like the most accomplished Western jungler. And thinking, adding him to that 2016 TSM team, having Jankos and Prime Bjergsen playing together with Doublelift, and just thinking of like, man, could that have put that team over the top? Could that team have been even more special? Could that have been a North American team making it to Worlds Finals, instead of like Jankos being on G2, and then also just thinking how that could have changed everything, that could potentially affect TSM standing in the world, how good people think of TSM and North America. It could have affected the G2 roster we end up seeing in the future. So many different things. But yeah, kind of cool. And I've never really heard of that. I never heard, obviously I don't hear everything, but I think I'm pretty connected. I try to hear as much and take in as much info as I can. I never knew that 2016 TSM team was considering Jankos, and that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Jankos says he did know that TSM was considering him at the time.
You know that, and like, if it was up to you back then, would you have joined?
I'm not sure. I mean, it depends, right? I mean, after like, wait, you're in TSM, right? Now? Or no?
No. I'm completely sober.
I mean, I just like heard that a lot of stuff about like Reginald lately. I mean, so I don't know about joining them. Like in hindsight of everything that happened back then, maybe I would have. Like, it's hard to say. The thing is that I also heard that I had really good offers between 2014 to 15, but I was a rookie and I was really scared of not playing in LAC because I kind of dropped school to play in professional league. So
he talks about how, like once he got offers, he had to hurry up and take them because he couldn't really risk waiting because he had taken this big risk. So even if TSM was interested in him, he couldn't necessarily wait for TSM to, make a decision or whatever, or not just TSM specifically, but any team to make a decision. So, he got some LEC offers, he got some good LEC offers that he was happy with, and he took them, and the rest is history. He goes with H2K, makes semifinals, ends up with G2, does all this amazing stuff. Hey, things have worked out great for Jankos, but things didn't necessarily work out as well for TSM, didn't necessarily work out as well for NA. But, and I just thought that's really, really interesting, and I wanted to share that story with you guys. But the other thing that I wanted to hint on from this conversation is the fact that, hey, he says, I've heard some not so great things about Reggie, and he says in hindsight, maybe I would have joined TSM back then, maybe I would have considered it, but he's kind of, in a way insinuating that he probably wouldn't join TSM anymore. Part of the reason being the fact that, hey, he's heard some not so great things about Reggie, and that is, detracting from his interest to go to TSM. And that is very, very telling because there's been this back and forth debate. Some people have said, hey, all this drama, all this poor management by the TSM staff, all the bullying allegations, whether they're true or not or whatever, from Reggie, and some of the stories being told, this is going to hurt TSM's ability to bring in free agents and bring in top talent. And hey, maybe that's part of the reason why we see TSM with a bottom tier roster all of a sudden, because they weren't able to attract that top talent this offseason. And since then, during this season, maybe that's even gotten worse. And then the other people say, oh no, TSM's still a top brand. They're still an amazing team. They still have an amazing reputation internationally. It's not going to affect it. You're an idiot if you think that. And we are here hearing from one player, one very, very prominent player in the scene, and one potentially very influential player. Jankos is a role model to a lot of people. When Jankos talks, they're going to listen and they're going to hear what he has to say, and they're going to take into account what he has to say and maybe ask him for advice or look for him to advice or whatever. And I think it's kind of got two facets because, like, one, Jankos is a very, very accomplished player. Like I said, one of the most insane resumes in League of Legends history, but especially in the West. He's super accomplished, super well respected, all that stuff. He's not necessarily a guy that would be like at risk of bullying from Reggie. Reggie's not going to be able to come in and tell Jankos he's an idiot, he's stupid, he's doing XYZ wrong. Jankos could, ratio him very easily. You're an idiot. Hey, I've literally won MSI, made to World Finals, all that stuff. And the fact that Jankos wouldn't even be at risk a lot of this stuff, and he's still maybe not super excited to go into an environment like that where maybe he's not going to be bullied, but maybe just a toxic environment overall. And Jankos, goes on to speak about how, he thinks a successful team is like a great environment where everyone tries to be, super close together and everyone tries to be friends and everyone tries to build up these amazing relationships. And maybe that's why those G2 teams were so good. They had great relationships with one another, but also with Grabs, with Carlos, all of this stuff. And then, it does just kind of make you wonder as well, like, hey, younger players who are unproven, players who don't have the pedigree of Jankos and the respect of a guy like Jankos and all that stuff, them going into TSM, those are the bigger targets for potential bullying or for potential, mistreatment. Again, at this point, it sounds like all the allegations from Reggie are still, just alleged or just kind of, not confirmed or anything yet. It sounds like those investigations are still ongoing, but even the stories being out there, that probably scares a lot of younger players. It probably scares a lot of unproven players because they're like, wow, I'm going to go all the way to North America. I hope I'm going to do good, but that's a new place, a new environment, a new team, new stress, all this stuff. The culture's different. I'm away from my friends, family, and then I'm going to have this, crazy dude breathing down my neck and critiquing me this hard, and he's making people cry, and he's telling them they're dog shit and yada, 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 and he's, telling the coaches he could do better than that. Like, that's crazy. Maybe I don't want to go there. Maybe I'd rather stay in NA. Maybe I'd rather go to Cloud9, or maybe I'd rather stay in EU. Maybe I'd rather go to Cloud9, TL. Hey, those seem like a little bit better environments. So I thought this was kind of interesting. One, that, hey, 2016, TSM wanted Jankos, maybe was close to getting him. Maybe, if things would have went out a little bit different, they could have had him. But then also the fact that, hey, Jankos doesn't exactly love what he's hearing over at TSM about Reggie these days. And again, talking about going to TSM, that's a thought that crosses his mind. And just don't be shocked if it's a thought that crosses other players' minds as well. And I know this has been a debate that a lot of people have had. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I haven't listened to this video yet, obviously, but hopefully we had no echo. Hopefully the mic was under control. But either way, I think the new mic should be here tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about any of this stuff that we talked about in the video today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.